Also, something you never talk about: water. Water. Is that pretty? Bed, bath, and beyond. Good water. Energized mountain water. All right, what water do you drink? Evian. Well, I don't drink Evian anymore. I drink, what is it? Escapes me right now. I got a million things going in my mind right now. What is the water I drink? It's from Italy. Italian water, but I've been by the plant in France of Evian, and that's right up in the Alps. This is all up in the Alps and stuff, so really, close to the Alps, really pure water, really good stuff, you know. This is Pinna water. Aqua Pinna water from Italy. I like it energized mountain water. It just tastes so good and energy, and I love it, and alkalizing. Distilled water, RO water, it is acidic, and I think because now, back when I was growing up in this field, it was all distilled water, Dave Jensen distilled water, N.W. Walker distilled water, Bragg distilled water, they were all distilled waters. And research was done to see if any leaching would happen of the minerals of the body, because the medical doctors were going, oh, I don't leach the minerals out of the body. We never saw anything like that. But in today's world where everybody's so acidic, and I've talked about this on other videos, that I really think that mineralized water is probably the best bet, just because it's so hydrating to the body. You know, because this is the big problem that we face, is extreme dehydration. Almost all of us is dehydrated at one level or another. That's what causes hair to turn gray, is dehydration. I was about to buy an expensive reverse osmosis filter. You know what? I have a whole house RO system. I got a good system this time. He gave me a good deal on it. His cost $6,500. Whole house RO though, and it's a good RO system. You can get some cheap RO systems for the house, but you'd be better off spending a little more money to go. And I would we have a little calcium put in it too, just so that it doesn't eat too much of the pipes. Because remember, when you're devoid of chemistry, you're going to suck chemistry into you. Remember diffusion? So you're going to leach from your copper pipes, and you'll see that it can destroy things, metals and stuff, believe it or not, because it's devoid. So remember, you have ionization. You always have that flux of chemistry. So there's some of that to think about too, you know. But I love RO water at the house because you can wash everything in it good, feel good. The cars can wash in it and clean and no mineral spots. But drinking, I love energized mountain water. Until I found out about the dangers of using it. The water is so purified that it has no minerals left in it, so they call it the hungry or dead water because it is deprived of all minerals. Yes, it is. So is distilled water. That's what that's for, though. You know, the thought in detoxifying with distilled water, it actually helps to detoxify the body even better. So, I mean, there's thoughts on all these levels. It'd be nice to have some real research done on it to where one could factually make some of those statements. And maybe there has been, you know. I've been lost in my little world of trying to get this out there. But because water is devoid of minerals, that's not a big deal. You got to understand what water is. And what do we call water? The universal solvent. And it's a better solvent when it doesn't have minerals in it. Remember, hydrogen is a universal atom, and it's on the acidic side. So you've got hydrogen, which is always yanked out and converted and used differently in the body. But then what do you got? Oxygen. So you have two elements of hydrogen and one of oxygen, which makes it acidic. And then anything to alkalize it is going to be minerals and the like. Mm-hmm. This will cause the water to pull minerals out of your bones. That's not true. There has been a lot of research back in the old days about that, and none of that has ever been proven. So I don't think that is true whatsoever. All the research I've ever read about that, because it was a concern of mine too, and it was a concern of all the greats as well. These things have been well thought out and well researched years and years and years ago. It's just that people today have not seen that. A lot of you guys have not read books and went back to the earlier days of some of these greats, and some of them were medical doctors, and they just tore this up with the proteins and everything else. But I think Tilden was a medical doctor. He wrote against the use of proteins and protein, we called it back then. A lot of things, there's a lot of understanding and a lot of work poured into this level of understanding to get it to where you see it coming out of me today. There's a lot of generations to try to come to an area that should be natural and intuitiveness. It also produces water that is acidic of pH 5 and less. Yes, we know that, honey. Then there is bottled spring water. 99% of them are reverse osmosis anyway. Yeah, but you don't get the reverse osmosis one. I don't buy reverse osmosis water. I mean, not reverse osmosis, but a lot of these are not reverse osmosis water. They're what's the other word? Not reverse osmosis. They're, God, I can't think of the name of it. But they're definitely infused and stuff, absolutely. And tap water that has a ton of chlorine and fluoride that only promote candida stiffen up all the organs. Yeah, come in. Come in. Hang on a sec. What is your take on finding the right water? Should it be the base of all health, right? Well, definitely think you should have some water. However, your fruits and your berries and your melons are mainly water, so you really don't have a real need to drink a lot of water if you have a lot of raw foods in your diet. If you're high raw foodist, you really don't have a lot of thirst for drinking water. Again, I like energized mountain water. Just my thing, because you're going to find a problem with everything. So figure out which one you want, but I don't know, I just recommend energized mountain water. But I've fasted and distilled water a lot in my life, and so has a lot of people. And there has never been any evidence of leaching of minerals from the bones.